It was one of the longer songs he'd ever written. It was about 12 verses long. It took too long to put on. It was too long to put on one of those old 78s that were popular at that time. They had to cut the song in half and put one half on one side of the record, one half on the other side. But eventually the album came out. Within a couple of weeks, he got a letter, a personal letter from John Steinbeck himself. And the letter read, "You little bastard." How could you possibly say in 12 verses what it took me an entire novel to write? We liked that letter, it was a good one. My dad was a good editor, you know, and somehow or other he enjoyed the celebrity of being an author. So I guess what I'm saying is that the war notwithstanding, the 40s were pretty good to my dad. Until the early 50s. He didn't feel well, he was getting dizzy, he was falling down and stuff. So he quit drinking. Didn't do anything. So eventually he checked himself into a hospital to see if there was something wrong with him, you know, something seriously wrong. He was in the hospital for 3 months getting evaluated. And at the end of the 3 months evaluation, the head doctor calls my mother on the phone and says, "Mrs. Guthrie, your husband is seriously ill. He's got delusions of grandeur. He believes he's a famous folk singer. He believes he's written books people are reading, made recordings people are listening to." My mom's on the other end of the phone going, "My God, the doctors are nuts." So she goes to break him out, but he's made friends now, doesn't want to leave. Oh, it had to be tough being on a whole sort of psychiatric hospital filled with thousands of people. Nobody believes anything about anybody. Although he did tell me that toward the end of the first 3 months he was in there, a new patient came on the ward one day, walked right up to him and said, "I know who you are. You're Woody Guthrie." My father said, "You know who I am?" The man said, "I loved your book, Bound for Glory." My dad said, "You read my book?" The man said, "No. I ate your book." Sometimes you can't get a free break in this world. At any rate, there was stuff seriously wrong with him. He stayed in the hospital system for the next 15 years until he passed away. But every week, we would go down there, break him out, bring the fiddles, the banjos, the mandolins, the guitars, the friends, the neighbors, you know, food and stuff. People wanted to meet him. People wanted to talk to him. People wanted to play songs. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And we'd sit there all day doing this once a week. I thought that was pretty good. I know a lot of truckers don't see their kids half that much. We thought we had it made. And he kept writing the whole time. He wrote songs, he wrote books, he even wrote a play. And over the past 20 years, my sister keeps putting out this stuff that we find and organize and finally, you know, get it out there. I'm going to sing you one of the last little songs he wrote. It wasn't really a song so much. It was just one of these scraps of paper on which he had wrote 2 verses. It was a little summary of his life, very short. I just loved it, and I put a little tune to it myself some years back. I've been singing it ever since. It's so short that I'm going to sing the 2 verses, and then I'm going to sing them again. The very same ones. The second time through, I'm going to give you the words so maybe you can help me out. I really haven't asked all night, although you did pretty good on some of these. And I know this ain't like 40, 50 years ago. We'd all be singing along on every day. It's a little too kumbaya for people these days, you know. I get it. So if you're nervous about singing in a place like this, just mumble your way through. Trust me, I know people make a living doing it. It's perfectly fine. And when people are singing and mumbling together, something happens. It gets inside of you, fixes things you didn't even know was wrong. And better than that, it gets out of a building like this and tossed to the breeze that's blowing out there and blown to places halfway around the world we might not be thinking about right now. And there might be friends or neighbors or kin of ours halfway around the world, hiding behind trees and rocks and walls. Other people have been shooting at them for weeks. And I can tell you, those guys can hear on the breeze over there the voices of people singing and mumbling together over here. And the sounds of kids playing and the sound of the world that always feels good. Just depends on people like us from time to time. Keep it in mind, that's all. That's what all that kumbaya stuff's about. So here's a little song, see what you do with it. Goes something like this. My peace is all I've got, that I can give to you. My peace is all I've ever had. It's all I ever knew. I give my peace to green and black, to red and white and blue. My peace is all